Hey everybody, how's it going? Good, good. We are live again outside today in my executive office. It's a funny thing. I had in my mind that I wanted to be outside today in the sunshine, and when I went to set up for the live earlier today in my office, on my laptop, the live button wouldn't even work on Facebook. So it's like the universe is forcing me out into the sunshine. So, lesson, be careful what you say, because the universe is going to make it happen for you. Anyways, just waiting here a couple more seconds to let people get on there. Hey Clem, how's it going? Alright, awesome, good to see you. So today we are talking about Superniche. It gets to be all about you. But let's just review what we've done up till now. We have looked at our clients, ideal clients, deepest fears, deepest desires. The goal is we want to know them better than they know themselves. What this will do is it positions us naturally to be the expert in where they're at the moment, and naturally it'll position us for where they want to go, where they want to get to. When we actually understand their deepest desires, deepest fears better than they do, and can use that language almost like we're reading their mind, they're going to look to us as the expert and just naturally seek us out when they're ready to solve their own problem. Now in my full program, I've actually got over 100 questions that I would ask of ideal client. We've just talked about two, the desires and the fears. Can you imagine knowing over 100 different things about how your client thinks and feels and their underlying, what makes them tick? What kind of magic would there be in that? So if you want to get your hands on that, I'll tell you a little bit later on how we can do that. But for today, we're going to talk about Superniche. Now I selected the icons of the superheroes there because really this is all about your superpower. And if you've never heard the term Superniche, well, the very first time I heard that up, I just knew that someone made it up, and I thought it was so awesome. I put it into my program. So thank you to Amber McLean. That's where I got that term from. First thing is, everyone's kind of heard of your market, right? Your market. Another name for market would be niche, and that is sort of the everyone available that could possibly use your program. So when we're talking about health and fitness, like literally everyone can use health and fitness. So that's a big, huge market, right? But when we talk about niching down, or you're getting your target niche, that's when things get a little bit more specific. So for we have a fitness trainer that is focusing on health and strength training. That's one niche within the fitness world. We have another one that's focusing on nutrition and getting healthy through food. That's totally different niche, and which is another small part of the entire market. Now, what a super niche is, what in the heck is that? The super niche is going to be that select group of your target niche that you can help the fastest. The one that is most ready for your solution, the one that has the biggest problem right now, and the one is actually ready to solve their problem. They're sitting there waiting, just waiting for the solution to come along because their problem is so big, they're just overwhelmed and don't even know how to deal with it. So you can imagine, in the fitness training world, I've been thinking about this. So Kyla's in our group. What if you were not only the nutrition specialist, what if you were the nutrition specialist for new moms? Okay? So think about it. Moms that where their baby is under a year old. And now it might even be better because you're a mom yourself. You would know exactly what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're going through in wanting to lose that baby weight. Or what kind of other desire might they have? They just want to feel sexy again. Get into those skinny jeans again. Now, how specific would that be to talk specifically to new moms and offer them the magic and the hope of what it is that you bring? That would be a super niche. Now, when I talk about niching down to people, usually what pops up in their mind, remember that the mind chatter we were talking about, when we talk about niching down, usually a fear pops up of, oh my God, if I am only talking to one select group of people, I'm going to miss out on all the rest. And that is a very real fear. However, think about this. As a specialist, a doctor, you've got general practitioners, and then you have a heart surgeon. Who do you think makes more money? Your GP or a heart surgeon? Which one is more specialized? A GP or a heart surgeon? Which one is in more demand? GP or a heart surgeon? And if you were in need of a heart surgeon, how much more would you be willing to pay for that solution? I mean, of course, we live in Canada, and those types of things might not actually cross our mind, but when you think about it, the more specific your problem, the more likely you are to search out a solution, the more likely you are to pay for it, pay well for it. And also, you know, that kind of client is just like, give me your solution. They're not going to attach all kinds of conditions and terms on it and really worry about so much the details, as long as they know that they're going to be able to get your solution. So that's what Superniche is all about. Now, we constructed a little bit of a sentence here today, and because I don't have my other computer, I don't have it on me, but it went something like this. I help my ideal client get their desire without their fear using my special process. Awesome. How awesome is that? How salesy is that? Can you imagine for 1 second? You're just out in having a conversation. You just met someone for the first time. You're talking about the weather. Yeah, look at the storms we've been having. We got hit with hail the other day. Oh yeah, that's cool. Hey, by the way, what is it that you do? Well, I help new entrepreneurs with their marketing without feeling salesy with my 5-step process. Oh, hey, that's cool. Awesome. It's a non-salesy way to offer up who you are, what you do, who you help, in absolutely perfectly conversational type of way. If you look at this from another angle, it could be like a elevator pitch or elevator speech. Some groups teach that. To me, having an elevator pitch absolutely just feels salesy, because for me, my little voice pops up and it's like, yeah, I'm trying to convince somebody. I've got my hidden agenda. But if you take this super niche sentence, you can use it literally anywhere, anytime you're talking to anybody. Now, I absolutely love this this fitness thing with Kyla, because she helps people with their health and fitness and nutrition without diet and exercise. So I was just imagining this morning, if I met someone like Kyla and asked, yeah, what is it that you do? And they said to me, oh, I help new moms get into their sexy jeans without diet or exercise with my 5-step process. What? Really? I would probably likely say to her, you know what, hey, I'm not a new mom. In fact, my oldest is 32 years old, but hey, do you think that that might work for me? All of a sudden, what was just conversational has now opened a door to a conversation. And isn't that what we're really looking for, is opening doors to conversations? Because what we're really looking for is to help people. And again, not on our agenda, but because you've really got a real product or service that's really going to help someone. No snake oil sales. So we talked about the lack and abundance. When you niche down and it feels to you like, oh my God, I'm going to be missing out on people. I'm going to be missing out. We're going to talk tomorrow about what goes on in our mentality when those triggers come up. Because you see, those triggers come up for us, but you also know they come up for your client. And so tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because understanding that is going to be another key to unlocking and unleashing the salesiness in your process. I had a couple other examples here of high-end niche. I was just looking around at Calgary. Calgary right now in the last 3 years has been hit so hard with our economy, people losing jobs and what have you. But you know what's popped up is more of these high-end car dealerships, like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Maserati, and Porsche, all on this strip, and it's called the Meadow Mile. Now, would during a recession be the time, do you think, that these high-end things would be popping up? Well, these people, these companies know their stuff. They know their marketing, they do their research. So they know absolutely that there's still money out there and still people willing to pay for a product. But how specific is that? Someone looking for a Ferrari or Maserati, and they're willing to pay top dollar for it because they're going to get what it is that they're wanting. And that's what can happen for you as well too. If we don't go into the lack of abundance or the fear that there's just not enough out there for everyone, if we don't go there, if you realize that there is enough in the world for everyone. I actually heard something like there is totally enough food in the world so that we could end world hunger. We could do that. But people who just take too much for themselves are not allowing that to happen. And I'm not talking about you and me, I'm talking about world powers. You know, they're more hungry for the power than they are to end people's suffering. And so, anyways, I digress. This whole idea of super niche, one more idea I want to bring to you, is super niche doesn't mean that it has to be forever, right? You might have more than one product, you might have more than one process, but the idea I want to bring to you is that you only want to serve one ideal client at a time. You only want to talk to one ideal client at a time, and you only want to talk about one super niche at a time, because a confused mind doesn't buy. They don't. For me, I'm interested in a lot of things. I mean, my background is in accounting, finance, taxation, setting up corporations, yeah, and marketing and sales is what we're doing now. Oh yeah, and cryptocurrency too. And don't you know that I do karaoke? But if I brought all of those things to you in one sentence and said, yeah, I can do all of this stuff, like tell me what you need, what happens is that people get confused. They look at it like, oh, how could you possibly be an expert in all that? And so the brain kind of turns off. It's a part of psychology. There's a whole lesson we could go into behind the psychology of why our brains shut off. But the more specific that you can give someone in bite-sized pieces in that very simple sentence that we constructed today, the more apt their radar is to zero in on it and say, oh yeah, that's me. Or, oh no, that's not me. Because remember, as salespeople, what we're really wanting to do is help people make a decision. If we leave them confused and we leave them saying, yeah, call me back later, or yeah, email me your stuff, that puts us in a position where now we got to follow up. Now our triggers go salesy. I feel like I'm chasing them. I feel like I'm hassling them. Why not just get that decision right up front? So that's all I got for you today, but tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is like super exciting for me, and I'm going to make it super exciting for you too. We're going to talk more about the psychology of those triggers, what happens in a brain when a word pops up, and what happens in your ideal client's head, and how we can massage that and give them the right message at the right time, which we'll put together on Friday, where they're going to hear you. They're going to hear what you're saying. They're going to feel like you are talking right exactly to them. They're going to feel like you're reading their minds. And so when they're ready to solve their problem, they're going to know that you are the go-to person, and then they got your number. Just simple as that. So thanks for tuning in today. Awesome to see you. Welcome to my executive office, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.